think you've got to keep as much lactate out of the system as possible when you consider how short a time there is between the second semi-final and the men's final. Only one race there.
And when can you remember only one Norwegian being in a Sprint Classic final? We've got no less than 3 Russians involved here. 2 North Americans, 1 for Canada, 1 for the United States, and 1 for Norway. Well, Gleb Rativki for Russia. He'll be there with Parfenov and also, of course, Panzinski. I would say probably an outsider of the 3 Russians, the way that Parfenov and Panzinski have performed. But Andrew Newell, he's been 3rd at Drammen, he's been 2nd. Might this be his evening, I wonder? And Fosley quietly there.
Yeah, Newell, Fosley, Paszynski are the 3 that look the strongest to me. It's going to come down to tactics.
Parfenov, who broke away on that second climb in a big way, so that might again be his tactic. And Paszynski also not afraid to lead and be up there.
Yeah, fastest semi-final was the first of the 2, but now, they have had longer to recover.
Now Len Valjas, he's had 2 styles of racing in the quarterfinals, but in both races he's found himself quite a long way behind and had to come late.
Valjas, I think, on the near side will consider himself lucky to get through. He went through as the slowest of the lucky losers. He was 281 behind, had nothing left on the final third of the course. So he's got to hope that the pace is very slow, because I've been impressed with his speed over the last 100 metres.
Panzinski wearing bib number 1, the fastest qualifier earlier on in the afternoon, is the man who leads up there at the moment. Parfenov going with him. So Russian 1-2, then Fosley on the near side with the white hat for Norway, then the Canadian in red, then Rativki, and that leaves at the back of the field Andrew Newell. So Newell needs to get a little closer. I don't think you can take the risk here of the front runners just having a burst of speed and running away from you.
Well, Paszynski went for a burst at the top of the first climb, which was he's the only person to have done that so far today, but it did string the group out from 10 metres to something like 25, and I think Newell will be aware of that, but he wants to get to the summit of the first climb with the pulse rate still well under control at around 150, and he's done just that. So I don't think Newell's done anything wrong so far.
No, he responded rather well there, I thought, and Panzinski on the far side track just edging into the lead around the corner. This double climb that they have, which is unique to the men's race.
Paszynski goes again, a little bit of double polling.
And Valjas, as before, now drops back to the tail of the field. So Russia at the moment, the 1-2, Fosley for Norway in 3rd place, then Rativki, then Andrew Newell, then the 2 North Americans at the moment at the back and getting detached.
And Len Valjas has got to start making a move if he wants a chance of winning this one. I think there's more chance of Russia getting a 1-2-3 than seeing Len Valjas in the top spot.
Fosley, though, beginning to respond there for Norway.
And although they've looked fairly conservative in their pacing, they still went under the banner at 2:05, which is matches the fastest we've seen so far.
Parfenov into herringbone, Paszynski almost, but just maintains it. Rativki in 3rd place, then Fosley, then a big gap there to Len Valjas, and Andrew Newell is not at the races.
Yeah, Fosley, number 4, has got to stay as close to these Russians as possible. He's got to be able to take advantage of the slipstream on the way down. He's got it on this descent, so he's still in the running for a top 3.
Valjas surely has left it too late. He's in 5th place, trying to close at the moment. Now, it's got to be up this climb now.
Fosley goes on the outside, David, and has gained a position, so he's moved up into 3rd, but he's had to start the double polling sprint very, very early.
Fosley coming up on the near side there. Pyeongchang dropped back into fourth place. And this is a real opportunity for Fosley. He's got the optimum track as he comes round here. Retivke, he just goes inside Retivke now, and Fosley for Norway now fighting out, and Retivke fights back.
Well, this is where the Russians are so good. Their commitment on the double pole, the angulation they get, so powerful from Retvik. Brilliant finish from him. Fosley fourth to first in the space of 200 metres, but then just didn't have anything to give on that last 100.
And Valjas in there with Parfanov for a photo to get on the podium. But Len Valjas, he can't afford to race like that. I mean, he's never going to get anywhere if he leaves himself with so much to do.
Yeah, I think he's tired. He's had a busy period. Of course, got a win with Alex Harvey and the team sprint in Toblach. That was a big moment for him. He looked fantastic there. I'm not sure that he shouldn't be in Europe somewhere, just resting up, preparing for the World Championships. He wanted a podium. He's just missed out by a fraction of a second.
Well, Gleb Retivke, mid-20s, a former under-23 world champion in sprint, but in freestyle, but now he's done it in classic style. And that's his first ever World Cup podium. So, first World Cup victory as well.
Fosley in prime position. I think the jury will have a look at that skating technique round the corner. Could be a yellow card coming his way, but he didn't get the win either way. Gleb Retvik with a strong finish. Look at the reach. That's for third and fourth, and Valjas missing out on a podium by a couple of tones.